What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. That's the first YouTube intro I've said since retirement, Jesus. If you guys haven't heard, I retired from COD. I uploaded a video a couple days ago if you want to go check that out. Quick couple things before we jump into all the roster mania that I know you guys are waiting for. The room behind me is a little bit different than you guys are used to. I did move from Los Angeles back to Virginia. I am at my parents' house currently. This is where I'll be streaming from, making content for the next month or so. My house is ready to go, but I'm waiting on the moving trucks and furniture and all that stuff. So in the meantime, I didn't want to just lay low and do nothing. So I'm gonna be making content, streaming, YouTube, all that stuff from here for about a month or so, just so you guys are aware. So jumping straight in, we have some news from Jacob Hale and Ronnie and Crone and everyone and their mom that makes ROSTERMANIA news, and that is DRAZAH could be rumored to join FaZe. Obviously, I know what everybody is thinking right off the bat. They don't seem to like each other too much. Now, obviously, outside of the game, that would require some conversations, and I would absolutely love to be a fly on that wall. But when it comes to strict Call of Duty roster building and the potential of the team, it's pretty nuts, I must say. So, obviously, Slasher has tweeted he's an unrestricted free agent, meaning that they are moving on from him. And with this rumor, they are targeting DRAZAH, which is obviously a flex player, one of the few that is actually in the league, so props to Zach. They're thinking about moving MC to a mid AR. This is something that I am 100% a proponent of. I think that MC's playstyle with Austin as well as Alec Arcides, it created a couple of weird role conflicts and pacing issues. And I know pacing is a super buzzword in the God community, but when you have two mid AR-esque players on the team, it just makes things a little bit more complicated than need be. So bringing in Zach, committing to an actual flex role and letting MC do the mid AR things that he should be doing, I think it just frees up pretty much autonomy across the board, because you're not buying into that flex simp rumor thing that got started somehow. I was just never a fan of that. You have one of the greatest SMG talents of all time on your roster. I think putting him on a flex would be doing him a disservice. Even if he's pretty gross with an AR, I think the ceiling will just always be that much higher when he's using a sub full time. Obviously, he has chemistry with Tyler for however many years it's been a BZ. I think just putting him on a different role is an absolute mistake. So if the FaZe rumor is true with DRAZAH, I think they're aiming in the right direction for sure. This isn't just a DRAZAH thing either. I think that they could bring in a number of flex players, whether that be Dan Ghosty, Sib. There's a lot of different roles that they could go, but I'm happy that they're shooting in the right direction, in my opinion at least. Just to talk about Austin for a second, I think he had a pretty insane season. I do want to give him his flowers. I know he got dropped, but I think it's just a wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. Word to Patty P, you just always have to pack a punch when you can. So I think Austin played well the second half of the season. I think his he had a pretty underrated season for the most part, at least to me. I don't know if you guys share the same sentiment or not, but in terms of what they're losing with Austin, I think they're keeping the S&D pretty similar. Zach was one of probably 1A and 1B, I would say, with a BZ this year in terms of S&D gameplay. Zach's obviously fucking insane at Search and Destroy, and he also loves COD and the passion and eats, breathes, and sleeps Call of Duty, so that's something that you always are going to want to have on your roster. Obviously, first-hand experience with that. Big DRAZAH fan over here. So the team will be gross. I think that people should definitely be on the lookout for how that shapes out. Moving on to the second rumor that came out today, another Los Angeles Thieves brethren of mine, Dylan Envoy, former Tall Titan, if you will. He is rumored to be fielding offers from the Toronto Ultra, and this is pretty contrary to the rumors that we had prior to this. I haven't made any videos on it because I've been getting situated, but there were rumors about Insight and Kleenex being shopped around the league as a duo, and maybe Toby might split off to join LAT, and there's just a whole bunch of things. This rumor with Envoy fielding offers from Toronto, a couple of things I want to mention. One, fielding offers does not mean that he wants to join the team. He could be using the offers as leverage against other organizations and other teams that he would like to join, because obviously, hey, if I go to Toronto, they're going to give me X amount of money. Oh, what are you going to give me? So that's kind of what could be going on. Now, on the flip side of that, offers are also a huge step from the initial starting point of building a roster that most teams do not get to. Most of the time, when you build a roster in the offseason, you're just talking to the players, trying to figure out the logistics of things like, do we want to play together? I don't really like this guy. I think our roles might suck. This guy sucks at S&D, whatever. Once you get past all of that to the fielding offers point, that becomes a organizational thing. And like I said, most rosters don't get there. So take that how you guys will, because a team of Scrap, Envoy, Insight, and Kleenex sounds pretty good to me. Hixie obviously brought them a championship. Well, didn't bring them a championship, helped them win a championship. And obviously got second at COD Champs this year, but I think Dylan Envoy is criminally underrated. Again, first-hand experience. Lots of LA Thieves in this video. First-hand experience. I mean, Dylan, I can't say enough good things about. He's one of my favorite teammates I've ever had by far. He is a completely malleable sub player. He can do the entry fragging. He can take routes. He can do pretty much anything under the sun that a lot of people don't. A lot of sub players get put in a box, and that's just where they stay. And I think Dill just operates wherever he needs to, and that's a huge thing when it comes to COD. So you can put anyone next to him and he pans out, and especially if you put him next to Toby. He is one of the few entry fraggers, I would say, in the league. He plays at a pretty insane pace and does it well. So that team's ceiling is pretty damn high. Now, really quick, just to touch on the scrap things, because I know that you guys are interested in what's going to end up with Ernie Longneck, where he ends up, Optic, FaZe, LAT, Toronto, what happens, what that looks like. I just want to bring up a couple things just to think about, food for thought. Number one is the general outlook on esports from a financial standpoint, because he does require a buyout. He is not an unrestricted free agent. Whether Toronto is actually shopping him around to teams to figure out what kind of money they can get for him, if it's a financial route that other teams are willing to go for him. There's a lot of things that go into a decision when it comes to a buyout when there wasn't an economic downturn for the most part. But now you hear a lot of people not wanting to spend as much money on salaries. I know Nade made a podcast a couple of days ago, you guys might have seen, talking about it and addressing things. There's just a lot of pay cuts across the board, not only in Call of Duty, just esports in general. If you look at the LCS, there's a lot of money discussion going on. So teams are not going to be in the mood to buy players out, especially for high six figures. I don't know what the numbers look like when it's on Scrap's case. I don't know if Toronto's asking a pretty unrealistic amount, or if they're just trying to unload players, like obviously the rumors with Insight and Kleenex. I don't know what kind of buyouts they're looking for there, but I don't want to speak on the Scrap rumors too much because I don't know that information. So I don't want to place him on FaZe Optic or LAT because I don't know just how realistic him getting out of Toronto is. And the thing about him actually not getting out of Toronto is that they are known for fielding talent. That is a standard that they have set all the way back to Modern Warfare. They had basically a farm team in Modern Warfare. They had Cammy and Kleenex come up underneath their organization. So they'll be moving on from obviously Toby if all the rumors are true. But Toronto has the pedigree of building rosters and fielding new talent that is relatively undiscovered in the past. So I would, if I'm Scrap, I'm not worried. Well, I am a little bit, but I think that the chances of you getting yourself 3 players that have the potential to be CDL caliber and high tier players within the actual league is probably the best that it's going to get under Toronto. Whereas, you know, you can end up somewhere else chained and not get a good team whatsoever. So my faith would be in Toronto. They've done it before. They can do it again if Scrap has to stay there. That's just something to think about. Apologies for not covering any of the rumors prior to today, guys. Well, I guess yesterday when you guys are seeing this video. I've just obviously been busy. I drove from California to Virginia in 3 days. I did 12 hours, and 14 hours. So there's just a lot going on in the personal life right now, trying to get acclimated. But like I said, it's going to be about a month until I move into the new place, and then we're up and running. I've been streaming pretty much daily as much as I can with everything that's going on. So if you guys ever want to watch that, head over there, drop a follow, twitch.tv/Octane. Retirement has been definitely interesting so far. It's given me a mentality shift, because before when you're playing, you obviously don't want to say a lot of things about a lot of players, whether that be for bad juju purposes. You don't want to throw gas at people. There's just a lot of things that I am the ability to say now, you know, opinions on things that I couldn't talk on before and stuff like that. And I can look at things a little bit more objectively than I could before. So it's definitely given me a new outlook on content for sure. So make sure you guys drop a like and a subscribe. We'll be here. Any roster rumors that come out or anything like that, I should be able to cover relatively quickly over the next couple days when ROSTERMANIA hits. So just quick before the video ends, guys, free agency doesn't actually begin until July 3rd. That's when teams can actually sign players. So you guys probably aren't going to see much until then. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys, and have a fantastic rest of your day.